we've been rocking strong for over 2 years now. We crossed the 2 year mark back in November, and that's a milestone. I don't take that lightly. I value it deeply. Now, going back to when you got here to Colorado, prior to, you were instrumental in growing this same brand in California. What motivated you to bring that same value here to Colorado Springs? And what gives the Colorado Springs APG way the upper hand over your contemporaries?
Sure. I'll answer that in a few different sections. First and foremost, obviously, it was growth. I mean, in business, we're always looking as far as to what we can do to leverage, our previous successes to further fund and obviously expand and obviously work with additional families and business owners and so on and so forth. So the original idea behind opening a second location was exactly that, was growth. Now it came down to location. We had a few different locations chosen out, essentially by site surveys, as far as on where the GDP was headed, where how the business economy was in these local areas, and also ultimately what was an amazing place to raise my family. So we had three locations chosen, but I fell in love with Colorado Springs right out of the gate. First visited here in 2014, and it's definitely a different lifestyle than the West Coast specifically. But something that I appreciate. It's that there's a hustle, there's a grind mentality here, but it also reminds you to slow down and enjoy the things that truly matter. And I'm not saying that work doesn't, but we get caught in the rat race, and all of a sudden, we're wishing we had 25 hours in the day, which we'll get back to that in a minute, Jesse, because you've shown me that that statement is nothing but true. But it really makes you appreciate what we're all doing this for, what we wake up for, what we're doing this. And so visited Colorado Springs in 2014. I was doing some work up in Denver, came down this way, fell in love with the town, and always knew this is where I was going to end up. So Colorado Springs had my heart the first time I visited. And so that quickly made the decision easy to open the second location. And in 2022, we've hit the ground running, and there's really no secret to the success. It's all about taking care of people, and they take care of us. So what gives us a competitive advantage over some of the other outfits locally? Well, naturally, I mean, we do design, we do production, we do installation, and all that is handled under one umbrella. What I've noticed a lot is that there's a lot of brokers here, not necessarily a lot of producers, or there'll be producers, but not necessarily designers, creativity. There's a lot of, they say overlap, but what's actually happening under one house, it's not the fact. And so because we do that, it gives us more control. It gives us more control over the overall project timeline. It gives us control when we're working with a client and they basically outline their goals as far as get them there. And then, obviously at the end of the line, bottom line, budget, for budget reasons, we can help get it across the finish line in that way. So I would say that would gives us the biggest advantage. The other thing that's worth noting is our prior experience. My business partner back there and we both worked in large agency settings. And so by working with some of these common household names like Nike, Wells Fargo, OPI nail polish, so on and so forth, we've kind of repackaged this whole system to make it affordable for small business owners. Small business owners, medium-sized business owners has my heart, just because the relationships that are forged in that. And that's where I truly flourish. So we bring the big agency mindset that's affordable for small business.
When it comes to the magic that APG produces, with the advent of AI, anyone can go out and type in a prompt and spit out an image. But the care and the depth that APG goes to truly understand the intent and to represent that in its output is nothing short of remarkable. But in that, There's the signage, there's the wraps, there's the design, there's the print work. There's so many tentacles. But for the layman, when they come in and they're thinking, I just want to sign, or I just want a logo, or I just want to wrap, what do they actually walk away with
Sure.
after, sitting down with you?
Well, I mean, obviously the Donna AI is here, and any agency that's not leveraging it as far as to help their systems as a tool is falling behind, and that goes for whether it's a design and print company or any of our clients that we're working with. So there's definitely respect there for AI as far as a tool, but it's exactly that. It's a tool and a tool only. It's not a think tank. And I think that's the bridge that's the gap that's not bridged is that people think, okay, the AI is gonna steer me in the right direction as far as to give me the maximum ROI on my project, so on and so forth. But it's really meant to do is to achieve or execute the idea from the start. So that's the difference. I mean, when you're working with a brand creative that has 20 plus years experience, we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, what's worked, what hasn't. Some could argue that AI could go out and do research on case studies, but again, AI struggles with opinion. And what we basically execute from that side is we have opinion, but it's backed by fact as far as what we've seen be successful and what we've seen not. And our job here, which I stress to my team constantly, it's our job to remove the friction before it costs our clients time and money. So I don't know. I haven't seen AI do that yet, but right now we're pulling ahead in that category.
By no means are you a spring chicken when it comes to this. Like, you are not new to this, you are true to this. So in 20 years of over 20 years of delivering excellence, but being business minded enough to understand that the value that you deliver, requires the business acumen behind it. You've always factored in margins as you're drafting up your estimate, which
Mhm.
obviously is a function of business and capitalism. With that, you know, oftentimes when it comes to the margins that end up being the final product, there's like a feelings gap
Mhm.
between what the thought is versus what the reality is. As we put together our margin tracker, and you were able to actually see the true gaps between planned versus actual performance and how that impacts margin, how has that influenced how you view the estimating process and how you go about it?
Well, in short, emotional decisions have no place in a business, especially from a C-suite or leadership standpoint. And so you have a great month, a good week, a great day, and you're making decisions based on new hires, new equipment, new really anything as far as to basically further the growth, as we were talking about earlier. That should never be made emotionally. And I feel like the advantage that we have is in our industry, psychology is just as important as the creativity and the craft that we produce. So I understand that. I've known that there's a logical mindset and an emotional mindset, and one of those two is making decisions. And so what your system and what we've done and what we've built together in tracking that really brings the stats back. And so we're making decisions logically 99.9% of the time. When I say that is because there's still the human element. I mean, at the end of the day, we still get excited. We still, there's good days, bad days, and everything in between. And so it gives me, I guess, parameters or guardrails as far as to truly make decisions based on what's best, not only for my clients, but my team, but also for the business. That way, we're not only here today, tomorrow, we're here a year from now, and we're still helping the businesses grow the way they should.
We've been in the trenches, bro, like I mentioned at the beginning, for 2 years here. When you think back over that time, was there ever a time where like it clicked in your spirit where it's like, you know what? This isn't me just meeting with my consultant coach. This is like my accountability partner that's bringing the structure that I've been looking for. Was there ever like a point in time where you felt that?
I can't nail an exact date, but I remember exact season. Here in Colorado Springs, there's slow and a busy season just due to weather. And so, naturally during the busy season, we're running and gunning, we're building, we're moving, and then during the slow season, we have time to reflect. That was so a year, actually 13 months ago. I'd say November, December during that season. It made me realize that, again, back to the psychology aspect, every business has owner has a little bit of an ego. And when I say a little bit, a lot ego. And so when we're told what to do, told where to be, told how to do things, we're going to shut down. And the way that you approach it, it makes it to where I am holding myself accountable as far as on tracking data, tracking metrics, whether it be networking activities or sales or margins. And that's when I realized, I said, this is integral. I mean, this is an integral part of the business, because this is essentially what is going to help us get to where we want to be. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have benchmarks, we all have goals that we're looking to achieve. But without the data, without the metrics, without seeing a clear picture of what we are actually doing rather than what we feel we're doing, it helped me. So coming back to the slow season, again, we have a little extra time during that time of year, and it shaped my mindset to where it was preemptive and also helping me get prepared for the busy season, to where we got there, we were already prepared and running for it rather than just kind of putting the pieces together during that busy season. So,
Some of the tools that kind of help to facilitate that run when the time comes has been the newest addition has been the margin tracker. But we started with the war board and the lost time tracker and different resources that help to kind of keep the insane amount of information organized. When you think about those resources, which one has had the most impact on how you actually see and run your business on a daily basis?
I mean, they're all extremely important. Otherwise, you and I wouldn't be spending time on it. But if I had to say the one that was pivotal was the war board. Based on activities, not only what my team members are doing, but what I'm doing, and then measuring the results of said activities. Whether it be from the networking aspect or top line revenue versus cost of goods sold. Again, having a clear picture into that, I think that's invaluable. It's invaluable, and then updating weekly, not quarterly, not monthly, but weekly. I mean, it makes us be able to pivot and make decisions much faster than, say, a conglomerate like Nike or something where there's so much bureaucracy and red tape to where they're already out of business before they even knew it.
When it comes to all that we do, a big motivator is to leave something behind and
Mm-hmm.
to, build something for our family namesake. And one of the tragedies that oftentimes happens in small business is a owner goes through all of these ups and downs and sacrifices to operate a business. And while that is happening, the kid is watching the parents, stress out at the dinner table about making payroll and, you know, sales have slowed down. We didn't have enough people call this week or enough people come in, et cetera. And what that is doing is kind of conditioning the kid to kind of be on the side of, bro, like, why would I sign up for that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever I'm gonna do in life ain't gonna have nothing to do with that because I've been
Right.
watching it my entire life. Like, why would I want to do that?
Sure.
It's a tragedy. So when I think about what like really drives me and my coaching style and approach, I don't want that to be the case. Like if there's anything that I can do to have influence over a family understanding the roles and the responsibilities and how they work with each other to achieve those organizational goals and objectives. So everybody has clear swim lanes. From the time that we've been in the trenches together, you've built an entire team around you. You've got the design element covered, you've got your books covered, you've got your sales process, like the engagement on social media piece covered. How has it been for you to watch your family understand their piece of the assignment and grab ownership of it?
It's beautiful. I mean, that's the only way I can say it. And I think that's really what that's derived from is, as I guess this generation is constantly looking for work-life balance, but you and I both know. So let me a message to new business owners: there is no work-life balance. It's just it's unachievable. And anybody that's been in business or been in the game for a little longer knows exactly when everybody says that. It's like, yeah, go sell your crazy elsewhere. But what I've figured out and what makes everything work is comfort in the chaos. And so business in general is chaotic. And when I say that, you have, I mean, it depends. It's hour to hour, day to day, month to month, week to week, but finding comfort in that space because again, knowing that I'm making decisions logically, not emotionally, my family sees that. I mean, when I was back in California, I admit I had it flipped upside down. I was working a lot. I mean, sometimes I'd be at the office at 4:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't leave till 10 midnight, and sometimes that's rookie numbers compared to some of my clients. But here, what I've been able to do is to find the comfort in the chaos and make decisions based on that logical data, and therefore my family sees a difference. It helps them see what I'm building not only for them, but for our clients and also for myself. And they see that I'm doing it in a much more efficient manner to where I'm just essentially more pleasant to be around. So, yeah, I'll leave it with that. Comfort in the chaos. There's no work life balance. Good luck with that.
I have seen husbands and wives go at each other when it
Mhm.
comes to the business. When it comes to Heather controlling the books
Mhm.
and how that feeds the war board and her like really taking ownership of that and understanding the distribution of the revenue streams and why categorizations matter and all of these things. How has it been to watch her evolution?
I mean, it's been amazing. So Heather and I have been together since 2014. However, she didn't hop into the business side of things until we moved out to Colorado Springs. That's when she took a shareholder position in the business, and I wanted to build this empire with her. I mean, she's my best friend, she's my rock, she's my love, and so for to see, rather than delegating, tasks like it would be to a team member, to her to really grab it, run with it, and see the results is has been beautiful because we're back to back with swords and we're fighting off all the bad and achieving the good, and to know that that we're doing that together is invaluable. And as much as I've seen businesses or even home remodels or new home purchases tear apart marriages, I'm confident this has certainly strengthened our relationship because it's not just on an emotional side or what we're building a family. It's everything. We're building everything together.
For sure. And then you got Malia coming up, running up the sideline, really, doing her thing on the social media piece, understanding it
Mhm.
from a strategic, starting to really understand it on the strategic level and moving accordingly to the point that, y'all are meeting and planning out what strategy looks like. How has that process been like?
Oh, again, I mean, anytime you can get, someone that close to you. She's my daughter, 19 years old. And she's bought into not only the process, but the ownership side. When I say ownership of her position and learning and understanding the strategy behind social media, it's a beautiful thing to watch because we all can get to point A to point B, but we're going to have different methods in how we get there. And so to see the way that her mind works at her experience level and the way that she achieves something, it keeps me young, keeps me on my toes, and it keeps fresh perspective. Like you said earlier, I'm no spring chicken. I'm not ready to put out to pasture yet, but so when you blend all those aspects into a business and you have perspectives of all generations, of all experience types, of all, I guess, essentially just strategy and mindset. it really creates the best outcome, not only for our clients, but for the business.
We've spoken about some of the challenges that comes along with referring, because like for me on my side, I struggle sometimes with how much that I can share of what I know about what you do. Cause it's like,
Mm-hmm.
we have our conversation. So like it's like I'm more like you really just gotta talk with Chris. You know what I'm saying? So let
Mm-hmm.
me put you
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely challenging. Now, when you are interacting with business owners every day, you can see the leading indicators that their business is running them as opposed to the other way around. But
Mm-hmm.
that is like that's like, how do you tell somebody, hey, bro, it don't have to be that way, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To that point, for the business owners that are watching this, what would you want them to understand about what it actually takes to go from surviving to building a scalable asset?
Number one, it is possible. You know, when you're in the business and you're wearing that many hats, it feels tough. It feels tough that how could I ever train anybody to do what I do? But when you develop the systems and processes that Bullseye Consulting does, it essentially breaks it down into blocks where it's achievable. It's no longer Pikes Peak or the mountain that you have to climb. It's that little hill down the park at the park, you know? And so when you break it off in sections in that way, and you truly have somebody that's in your corner fighting for not only your best interest, but the business's best interest and the client's best interest, it makes it achievable. It truly does. And I think that's where most people get stuck or most business owners get stuck is how much time is this going to take to basically free up my time? But the irony in that alone is insane. I mean, Einstein said it best, right? I think it was, you know, doing the same things over and over again is the definition of insanity. And so once you're ready, and whether that you've hit rock bottom or your business is ready to basically sell for 10x what its value is today, either way, there's a point to where you say, look, I need to make a change. I'm not sure I can keep running in 10th gear, a million miles an hour for this much longer. And there is a better way.
Man, I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you.
You know where my appreciation lies, Jesse, and we've loved obviously our interaction and our work that we've achieved with you. So.